Hi, I'm Bucky, and welcome back to The Backside of the Knife. Today's episode is something different. I got the idea from a buddy of mine who also has a YouTube channel. He said I should do some struggle meals, something cheap and easy to make. I went with kind of that, and what I'm going to do today, I'm going to call gas station gourmet. So we're gonna make a ramen with some items that we got from the grocery store and a couple items that we picked up at the gas station. All in all, it's less than 25 bucks spent, including the sauces that are in the fridge right now. And it's gonna be amazing. So to kick it off today, I'm also gonna do something a little different. I realized last time was a little stiff and I didn't quite have my groove yet. So in order to help with that, I'm gonna lift off with some edibles. These puppies are 250 milligrams each. So we're gonna start now, and I should be good and toasty by the time we're eating. Cheers to that. All right, quickly wash up and we're gonna begin. So, to start off with, I've got one package of ramen already in the pot. We're gonna make a slightly larger batch today. We're going 2 ramen, 1 pot. We're gonna keep the sauce packages aside and make our sauce out of that. So we're gonna start by getting some water in this and getting it boiling. And we'll begin from there. The items we have that we picked up at the gas station. It's just a couple of simple things to kind of give it some flavor and just something a little different. For the protein, I picked up some sweet and hot beef jerky. And then in the sauce, we're gonna dice up some barbecue peanuts and make a peanut sesame sauce to go with it. It should be absolutely delightful. So we'll begin by making the sauce while that's boiling. So what I've got for the sauce is a sesame sauce that's been in the fridge, some soy sauce, and because I do like mine spicy, I've got some scorpion pepper hot sauce as well. We're gonna get a small container, take some of our sesame sauce, about half the container. We're gonna get some of our soy sauce in there. And we're going to get the hot sauce in there. Just a couple of drops. Because this stuff is rather spicy. I'm using a couple of drops in the cap just to top up the sauce we're making here. All right. So then we're gonna take our seasoning packets and dump those in there as well. And once all of that is in the container, we're gonna stir it really good, get it all mixed up in there. Have a nice sesame-based sauce with a little bit of kick to it. And then we're gonna get that into the frying pan here. About half of the sauce is gonna go into the frying pan. We're gonna reserve the other half of the sauce to put in after the noodles are cooked. So then what we're gonna do is cut up some of our peanuts. We're just gonna dice them really finely. I mean, you can chop them up as chunky or as fine as you want. Entirely up to you. We'll get a different view here so you can see some of that while we're cooking on that. So I'm gonna do about half the bag. That should give us lots to work with. Alternatively, you don't have to chop either. You could use a grinder or anything you want, really. I just chop because it's easy method, and I'm right here with the knife anyways, so we're getting into it. And do mine fairly fine. Make sure you've got all of them in there. Once those are chopped up, we're gonna add them to our sauce. Just get it in the pan there and get that going. I'm gonna set that to just above medium. And then we're gonna carve up our beef jerky. All of the stuff we're cutting up secondarily, we can put aside in the bowl that we're actually going to eat the ramen from, just as a way to save yourself some dishes. This is definitely a good meal if you're in college, you know, and you're just low on funds. Real cheap, real easy to make, and it's delicious. Get that out of the way. Get the last of this in there. I've also got some green onions. I'm gonna get some of those chopped up as well here. And some of those are gonna go in with the beef jerky, and some of them are going to be put aside and we'll put them fresh on top of the ramen afterwards. So again, you can slice them up any way you like. I've chosen to go with a really fancy angled cut today to just make it look more authentic. You want to take a look at that. They're fair sized pieces, and we'll get those all in there. And then, as well as having the peanuts in the sauce, if you like, you can chop up some of the remaining ones to put them in with the beef and the green onion to go in after the dish has been cooked. And again, we're reserving some of the green onion for afterwards as a garnish. Again, like I said, we're gonna do it real fancy here and try and make it look as good as possible while being as cheap as possible cost-wise and still being delicious. Nobody likes to make a struggle meal and then actually be struggling to eat it. That takes all the fun out of it. So we've got our peanuts and the sauce going here. Get that coming up to temperature. We've got our noodles going on high here. They're going to be cooked within a few minutes. And meanwhile, I'll cut up a few more peanuts just to use at the end. Once the sauce has been cooked and in, these will be again more of just a garnish on top. And they don't have to be barbecue, they can be any flavor or just plain salted. I just found that the barbecue gave it a little bit of extra flavor in there. And yes, I did make this the other day just to try it out before I decided I would do an episode on it. kind of wanted to have a feel for how it tasted and how it would turn out. So while all this is cooking, and we've got a few minutes, just want to say I know it's been a while since I posted my last video. It's just been really busy and I haven't had a whole lot of time to be doing the things that I like to do. Hopefully we can get back to that though, and I'd like to be putting out a lot more of these because, you know what, I'm gonna have fun with it. And I hope you have fun making yours. So all of our ingredients are chopped, ready to go, and in the bowl, and we'll just add those to the pan afterwards. Again, just cut them up however you like. I chose to go a little fancier today, simply because I want it to look like authentic ramen that you would find in a nice restaurant, but I want it to be cheap and easy to make. The noodles are just about done. Our sauce is simmering down here. So we're gonna call that about good. As you can see, a lot of the liquid has come out of it now and it's a little bit thicker. That'll give it a little more texture when you're serving it. Our noodles are about ready. And again, this is really quick and easy to make, but actually really filling, and again, a really delicious meal, honestly, when you're just short on time or short on funds. You can still act like you're fancy and not have to spend as much money. Alright, so we're going to take our sauce and put that right into the noodles there after we've drained out about 3/4 of the liquid. And again, we're draining just the water out so that we're using our sauce instead of using a water to base the sauce out of. Just kind of stir that in. And then we're going to add the remainder of our sauce in there. Just get it all in. Stir it really thoroughly so that is all mixed in there. Now we take our previously chopped ingredients and you can just toss them right in. Again, you want to get them stirred right in, so fold it in, mix it in, do it kind of however you want to do. It's a you do you kind of day. After this, I think I'm going to crack another couple beers and hit the pool because it's that kind of day. It's hot as hell out and I just don't want to be in the kitchen all day. So now we're going to plate this, and I'll get you down to a different view here so that we can watch the plating process. Go. So we're going to put that right on in there. All that goodness in there. Make sure you get all the stuff out of the bottom because some of the beef and the peanuts and green onion will tend to fall to the bottom when you're stirring it in. I'm going to do something a little on the fancy side here. We're going to take some of this sesame sauce and just kind of drizzle it over top. And splash. And then top it with your green onions. And there you have it. We're about 14 minutes in and you have a delightful meal, gas station gourmet. One packet would probably be enough for one person. I didn't have breakfast this morning, I'm having 2 packets. Just gotta happen. So, you can eat yours however you like, whatever way you like. I've got my myself my preferred instruments here. And we're gonna hit up this delightful meal. Onegashimasu. The edibles have started to kick in. They hit fast when they are that potent. And this is spicy and delicious. I'm Bucky, and this has been The Backside of the Knife.